Hello tanks and tankettes, welcome to a kind of look at the T-22, except this is more just going to be in the way of a regular replay because unfortunately I don't have time at the moment to sit down and give this the full attention it deserves, but plenty of other community contributors have had a look at it as well and will have gone into, I'm sure, a lot more depth than I'm able to. Now the reason why this is because of an unfortunate confluence of my Warships replay contest results needing to go up at the same time that I've been given the test account to preview the Russian destroyers and the German cruisers for warships as well. So this is going to be a very heavy week in terms of warships content, and I apologise if you have no interest in that, if you're just here for the tanks, but bear with me. The kind of more normal distribution of videos will return after I'm done with the previews. So what is this? Well, I said I wasn't going to take a look at the premiums, and I'm not, because this isn't a premium, it is in fact a reward tank. You can put your regular Russian medium cruise in it as per other reward tanks, but it makes no extra credits. It may make extra crew XP though. Sometimes reward tanks do. It's not common, but there is at least one I know of that does. The T-95E2, which is the referral reward tank, that actually has a crew modifier bonus, but it is in other ways a totally unremarkable machine. This, on the other hand, feels like a very good medium tank. In fact, it is easily on a par with the three regular Soviet tier 10 mediums in most regards. The biggest standout things that it's better at are the power to weight ratio, which is almost like scout tank levels. It's just slightly better than the Leopard 1. It's just under 21 horsepower per ton, so that makes it super good at accelerating. And although the top speed isn't any better than the other tier 10 mediums of its nation, 55 kilometers an hour is still pretty respectable, and you really do feel that acceleration. That is the absolute selling point of this tank. The armour is also pretty good. I think it's easily on a par again with the other mediums, and the gun is, I think, the only real fly in the ointment, and it's the gun that might make the kind of air quotes serious players be slightly I don't know, disappointed, wary, I don't know what word to use here, but it has by far the least DPM. It's something like 360 less DPM than the T-62A and I can't remember the other two. The object numbers and the other object numbers, yes. I know one of them's got over 3100 and the others are just over 3000, but this is around 2660, so it's, in real terms, it's just under a second in terms of extra reload time, and for a lot of people that might be a deal breaker. But I will say it does have the best gun handling on the move, and it's also got the best aim time and the best accuracy. So yeah, it might reload slower, but it will fire even better on the move than the other Russian mediums already do. The armour, as you can see, also, have I said this already? The armour's no slouch on this machine. I mean, it's not super good, but I mean, you couple decent armour with excellent mobility, and it's so much easier to move around and mess up people's shots. So if you were just sitting still, yeah, your armour wouldn't be that great, but if you're moving around and doing your best to throw people's shots off, and because moving around doesn't mess up your own shots because of that excellent gun handling, yeah, I think, I don't know, that seems a worthwhile trade. So anyway, that was, however, not a worthwhile trade. That was a big hit from that E100 that penned my side armour and took my ammo rack, and having bounced all those Prem shells from the 215B, I then just ate a regular shell from the E100. And actually, if it had been a heat shell, it might not have done any damage at all, because where he penned me on the side armour, that actually has a strip of... Now, according to Tank Inspect, it's 3 mil of spaced armour, but it's still spaced armour, so I think that would still... at that kind of angle, it would have effectively eaten that heat shell, although I don't know. that for sure, but I feel like it probably would have. Anyway, so at this point I'm just kind of reduced because of the much slower rate of fire to just trying to snipe for a last bit of damage. I don't want to charge in and be gung-ho because I don't have the rate of fire to back it up at all. And we are easily winning this game as well. I mean, this was a pretty short match, but it was also, I think, by far the best match damage-wise that I had. And I'm sure the other people that have previewed this machine will have had probably more spectacular results to show you, because I have a feeling like if you're good at these kind of whizzy tier 10 mediums, and for me, this is a bit of a novelty. The only other tier 10 medium I have played, at least that I've unlocked myself, is the FE4202, which is totally different from this. I don't know. It seems like it's just a machine that in the right hands you could do exceptionally well in. So I was reasonably happy with this result. I mean, I'm sure that other people will have put up better damage results, better XP results than this. But for me, in any tier 10, I'd be happy with that level of damage, and in a tier 10 medium especially. Yeah, even though I wasn't familiar with the playstyle, it didn't seem that hard to get used to it. And the biggest issue for me was the lack of gun depression, but if you're playing Russian mediums and expecting good gun depression, generally speaking, you're doing something wrong. But as a reward, I think this is going to be well worth it. But given how good it is, I suspect it's going to be a pretty high bar in order to get this thing, whatever the exact requirements are. We know it's through the Rampage mode, I've said that already, but I don't know if it's going to be, top X 100 players on each server, or if it's going to be something more like the personal missions where you have to meet certain goals in order to get it in your garage. But either way, it feels like a worthy thing to go for. It feels like a very solid machine, and although some people may not like the fact that it has the worst DPM of the tier 10 regular Russian mediums, for a tank that you don't have to grind for it, you just have to get a hold of it, whatever they decide the mechanism is. Yeah, I think it is well worth it, and I will have a go myself, provided it's just not completely ridiculously impossible and out of my skill level. So I hope you've enjoyed this kind of slightly half-assed preview. Again, apologies for the lack of tanks content that you're going to have over the coming days, but it can't be helped. I hope you've enjoyed this one, however, and if you have, you can hit the like button, you can leave any comments below, you can subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay tuned for more.